Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host Gage Berdovich and Gordon Chatterton, who is here on time this week. Fellas, welcome back in. We've got a lot of things to talk about. We got football, guys, somewhat, but all three of our teams took it in the UFL this week. How are we doing after week one of the UFL, guys?
It's very good to know that we're all on the same level when it comes to the UFL and our teams. We all came to the same conclusion, I feel, at the end of last week, was that all of our teams looked awful and they all stunk. So outside of that, doing great, but DC might want to figure something out.
Yeah,
Gordon,
my
how
team,
you doing?
mine was so bad I could almost smell the horse shit coming through the TV. I mean, yeah, I got a word for the game, abysmal. I've got a conjunctive word for you, horse shit. I've got three words for you, pure horse shit. Then I got a four-word sentence, load pure horse shit. There we go. It was bad. I'll tell you what, Ted Ginn Jr. coaching career is almost like his pro career. Not good.
Yeah, and then of course the Louisville Kings start the UFL season off, which we'll break down each game here in just a little bit. We're just gonna kind of hit on it real quick here. But the Kings, I was so excited, so pumped for it. The crowd was there. I mean, great crowd. The very first drive, the tight end Davison bobbles the ball like three times and gets an interception. I'm like, oh boy, what have I signed up for here? This is gonna be bad. They kind of made of a game, but I think all of our teams, like Gage said, they kind of suck right now. But the good thing is, no other team really impressed me this weekend besides the Renegades. Was it the Renegades? Yes, the Renegades. That's the only team that really impressed me this weekend. But we'll see how it goes in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, UFL's kicked off, and yeah, we got a lot to work on for.
Not just us, we have a lot to work on. Joe Tessitore also has a lot to work on. Commentator for Friday Night SmackDown. He works for ESPN. ESPN might sue me for saying this, and I don't care. Joe Tessitore, get the roster right
Right.
because there was a guy who he said was returning kicks for the Aviators at one point, Marcus Barnes, who I was like, he got cut. Did they go and re-sign him? Like, yeah, I don't know how the UFL works. They may go and re-sign players, injuries, stuff. Stuff happens, and I'll give it to him. And I'm looking at the box score. I'm like, there's no Marcus Barnes. And it turns out Barnes signed a 2-year contract with the CFL. So he's nowhere near the UFL right now. And Tessitore is on something, and I'm not too sure what.
Yeah, and like me and you were texting back and forth during the game, and I was like, "Man, they just said Marcus Barnes. I thought for sure he got cut." And I was like, "But Tess just said Marcus Barnes." And you're like, "Man, I would love to have Tess's job. Friday night SmackDown, calling football games." I'm like, not knowing the roster because I looked and I even looked it up. I'm like, number 4. I was like, that says white. I was like, and that's what the guy's jersey says. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not Marcus Barnes, but announcers make mistakes, whatever.
Yeah. I just kind of thought, maybe there was an injury or something. He got
Yeah.
brought back, maybe on the practice squad if the UFL has that. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either, but he was off a little bit on that there. But hey, everybody, it's the first week, he's trying to get back into it. Yeah, we give him a little
Eh,
bit of grace there.
yeah.
Our
Uh,
quarterback has a lot to work on too. Whichever one they start. And what he needs to work on is those guys out there running that's got the same jersey he does. You can throw the ball to them. You just don't have to stand here and wait for the other color jury to come and bury you into the ground. You can throw the ball. You can even throw it out, throw it away. You don't have to take sacks. You can frustrate them by just keep throwing the ball away where they can't get a sack. Don't pump them up. I've never seen a quarterback so afraid to throw the ball. He reminded me a little bit of Julian just saying the last 2 games of the year. He was scared to death to throw the ball.
isn't Julian Just Saying's brother? Is he a quarterback on the Aviators? Is he on the roster?
I think he was.
Thanks. I don't
I
think
think
he's a
he is.
starter. Maybe third
No.
string.
Yeah. Well, from what I saw from who they picked as a starter, pick somebody else.
Oh, they did have Clayton Toon there. I think he would have been an upgrade over. Was it
Yeah. Jalen McClendon.
Yeah, I think that would have been probably an upgrade for him there if they would have went with Clayton Toon. But of course, he got an NFL deal, so don't blame him there.
Yeah. The guy who played McClintock would have actually been an upgrade for what I saw from Jalen McClendon. And I think the
Uh,
guy that played McClintock's been dead for about 50 years, ain't he? Oh my God, it was abysmal.
So let's get started with, let's just go in chronological order here of the UFL games that happened last week. And let's start out with my Louisville Kings losing the opener to the Birmingham Stallions 15-13. Louisville had a shot in this game, guys. Mr. kind of didn't make some throws towards the end. And turnovers. Turnovers got him, but I do have a favorite player now, and that is wide receiver Lucky Jackson. Glad to have this guy. Looks like a superstar to me out there. Gage, you know this guy pretty well.
I definitely do. He was on DC, I want to say 22 to 23 and last year. I could be wrong, but he spent quite a bit of time in DC. Signed with the Vikings, got in their practice squad. Don't know why he didn't pan out, but Lucky Jackson, I could have told you this before game one even started. Like, he is the best one in the or the UFL, best wide receiver in the game.
Yeah, I'm glad to have him, but I'll tell you a wide receiver I'm not a fan of right now, and that's Jaden Mickens, wide receiver for Birmingham. He tore up the secondary for the Kings the other night. He had over 100 yards receiving, and it just seemed like he was, whenever they needed a play to be made, they went to Mickens, and he made the play. Now, I didn't realize this. A.J. McCarron was the head coach of the Stallions. Little Alabama connection there.
No.
Alabama beats Kentucky again.
And not that long ago, A.J. McCarron was a player in the UFL, and now he's a head coach in the UFL. Crazy.
Yeah, guess everybody's got to start somewhere. But I don't know. Chris Redmond is the coach for the Kings. Don't know. I mean, the jury's out. It's week one. I'll give it some time here, but so far, I don't know. I don't know about some of these play calls. I mean, they've already made a move. They fired their offensive line coach after the first week of the season. I was excited about Benny Snell being back there as a running back, and he just could not get anything going. And that comes back on the line. Now, maybe they said maybe he's not in game shape yet, which, come on, Benny. You've had time. You haven't done anything in a couple of years.
Well, that's exactly the issue. It's just like pro wrestling. There's a difference between being in shape, you can run the ropes, you can take all the moves, but there's a difference between that and being in ring shape. And it's just like playing football, live games. You can practice all you want, you can do all the cardio you want, but until you start taking live, real hits and trying to actually hit a hole that your offensive line can't create, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess you got to give them some time to, even like you said, it's like, what's it called? You get calloused in the ring, kind of get calloused to them hits. You haven't taken live hits in a while. Got to get back into it. So we'll see how they do this week. We'll talk about their game coming up soon. A good game to start off. There was I don't know if you guys seen the incident at halftime with Justin Ross. He was the guy who caught the go-ahead winning touchdown, turned out to be, for the Stallions. But when they were coming into the locker room, they went through like a bourbon area where people were drinking. Did you see this?
Yeah.
And they kind of get back into, like, man, it's like we're in the XFL right here back in the day with the live crowd. And yeah, so, I mean, what a hot start for the UFL. Please get whoever that dude was singing off of my screen, Russell Dicker Bobber or whatever it was. That was horrible. But yeah, that incident was probably the best thing about the halftime.
And talking about the music, DJ Khaled as well. I don't know if the guy doesn't know how to sing more than 10 seconds of a song or what the issue is, but that halftime show, awful as well. I believe. Yeah.
I like the idea that they've got the halftime shows and they're showing it. That's fine. But man, those weren't good. So I guess they're not playing to me anyways. Guess I'm not the audience. So whatever.
And I guess also it's the UFL. It's not, top-notch football. So you're not going to have top-notch halftime shows.
Yeah. But it's kind of bad that Justin Ross is the one fighting with the fans, and he goes out and he gets the game-winning touchdown to kind of shut the fans up, which sucks, but yeah. So let's move on to the next game. And Gage, might want to close your eyes here for this one. Mm-hmm. The DC Defenders fall to the Battlehawks 16-10. Man.
Yeah. This was
people in attendance for this game right here. You think they don't miss football? Think again.
Yeah.
Gage, what do you think about your Defenders here?
This was it started out really well. We could say that. You start off Matt McCrane getting the first 4-point field goal in UFL history. 60-yarder, bang, right through the uprights. And then McCann for the Battlehawks comes around and he hits a 3-run home run to make the score 4-3. Nope, sorry, field goal. 58-yarder. He almost had a 60-yarder for himself. And then DC comes back with a rushing touchdown. Deion Jackson, 10-3. Everything's looking great. Go for 2. You don't get it. Okay, whatever. I don't like the idea of going for 2, but it is what it is. McCann, 27-yard field goal right before halftime, 10-6. You're going into halftime. You're feeling great. This is awesome. All right, here we go. And then Brandon Silver comes out to start the second half. Touchdown pass. Oh, great. Okay, well, we're down, but this is going to go good, right? This is going to come right back. Nope. Actually, no more points after that for DC. McCann goes around and scores a 25-yard field goal. Final score, 16-10. Jordan Tom, supposed to be the best quarterback in the league because he has the most experience in the league. But you could definitely tell he was missing guys like Lucky Jackson. He was missing guys like Abram Smith, who, for whatever reason, only had 1 carry, yet he was the best running back for a couple years in the league until he got injured. You take out these key people, is what's going to happen. 9 of 16, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he adds 5 carries on the ground for 16 yards. And your defense, sacked. What was it? 7 times?
7 times, yes.
You want to talk about a team that needs to fire the offensive line coach? Right there. 7 sacks. You can't do that. Whether it's Tom is holding onto the ball too long, or the offensive line is being like turnstiles and just letting everybody through. Can't let it happen. But on the other side, your defense played pretty well. You only allowed 16 points. Silver's held to 198 yards, a touchdown, 16 of 28 passing. The rushing game for the Battlehawks, not much to go off of, 28 carries for 64 yards. And the biggest play was Gary Jennings. 1 catch, 64 yards. That was it. And it was a short pass because his yak was 59. But still, that's the biggest play of the game. You need to come back and have one of your own. I thought Kiki Kuti was going to have a great season for DC, and he only has 1 catch for 11 yards on 1 target. Let's target the guy who's, I don't know how tall Kiki is, like 6'4" or something like that. We got to do better this week. Tamu's got to come out firing on all cylinders. The running game's got to get going. Deion Jackson had a pretty good game on the ground, 17, 57, and 1. But you got to keep it going. And you can't let Tamu hit the ground double-digit times.
Yeah. After this week, one of you guys are going to be 0-2 in the UFL because you guys playing each other. So my team also may be 0-2. We'll pick that after a while. But, yeah, history was made here. For the first 4-pointer in UFL history. I like it. Like Gordon said before we even click record on this podcast, you hit a ball that far, you should get 4 points for that. I mean, that's a long way back there. I like that rule there. I also like the no punts inside the 50. I like that too.
Yeah.
I don't know about, like, in the Kings game, they were at the 1-yard line on 4th down. They decided to go for it. Maybe just take the points right now. Figure out what you are first before you start doing that.
Yeah, you're still allowed to kick the field goal.
There's no rule saying you can't kick a field goal inside the 5-yard line. Just go ahead and do it. But, yeah, so far with these games we'll talk about, other than one game, the defenses have been pretty good. Now, is that because the defenses are pretty good or the offenses are really bad? Gordon, I know you like defensive football. What do you think about it? You think it's just really good defense so far or atrocious offense?
Well, if you're talking about the game that I watched, it's atrocious offense. I mean, the defense was pretty good the first half, but then the second half, they forgot how to tackle. They forgot how to cover. They forgot how to coach. They forgot how to run. They forgot how to bob and weave and dodge people. You want to talk about a team that needs to fire an offensive line coach? Aviators need to really examine the coaching staff, as in all. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say it again. The word for the game, it's a conjunctive word. Horse shit. That's all I can ever say about it. Oh, God. That was so bad. I've never flipped a football game in my life, especially not when I'm rooting for the team. I did. In the middle of the third quarter, when I saw him go down, basically lay down twice because he was afraid to throw the ball, I was like, shit. I was like, this is god awful. Then I heard Brent sent a message said, well, they put the backup in. I was like, I can't watch this. This is just terrible.
So both of these teams here are expansion teams. Along with the Kings, the Aviators dropped their debut to the Orlando Storm 23-16. And Gordon, I think you've already let us know what you thought about it here. Gage, what did you think about the Aviators in their debut? The jerseys look phenomenal. I like the Aviators uniforms.
They look phenomenal, and their one wide receiver, number 81, Tay Martin, also looked phenomenal. 7 catches, 86 yards. They have Rock Taylor too, and if you don't know Rock Taylor, he was the guy that the Steelers had in all of training camp, made it down to the very end and then got cut, and he was a guy that I think could have been an NFL starter. So for him to be in the UFL, didn't get much playing time, but Gordo also alluded to the quarterback play just being trash. So I don't think that's Rock's fault. But honestly, you look at the score and you're like, close game. It was pretty good. But call it how it was a blowout for majority of the game. It felt like it was just all Orlando.
It was all Orlando.
And the bad thing is the quarterback for the Orlando Storm is former Louisville quarterback Jack Plummer. Don't get him confused with Jake. Jack Plummer, who wasn't really even that good as a Louisville quarterback. He does not look too bad. I mean, he wasn't great the other night, but not too bad against the Aviators.
And also, Orlando has 2 wide receivers whose first name is both Elijah, and they are spelled differently. One has an extra H, and I'm like, I don't know where this H comes into play, but okay.
Talking about Badger.
Yeah.
And then White, I told Gordon this before we recorded too. White, who Joe Test thought was Marcus Barnes, he was probably one of the lone bright spots on offense that game. He had like 40-some yards rushing a touchdown. He also took a screen pass way down the field, got him into position. They couldn't do anything after that. But I thought White from South Carolina, Zaquandre White, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Squirrel White, but it's just Zaquandre White, who had a pretty big play there, and I thought he was probably the best player for the Aviators that day.
Yeah, and you mentioned the running game for him. 3 attempts, 48 yards, and a touchdown, and as long as 42. For your starter, 10 for 30. Like, we got to get this ground game going if we want any chance.
Yeah, especially with McClendon struggling. Went 21 for 32. Him putting the ball in the air too many times, I think, right there. 32 times passing for him, 212 yards, no touchdowns. He didn't throw a pick, though. He didn't throw that either, Gordon. So he kept it clean back there.
Yeah, whatever. What I saw was you'd have somebody with a little bit of separation, and he just held the ball. If they didn't have 9 yards of separation, he wasn't holding on to he wasn't releasing it. He'd rather take the sack.
Well, so all 3 of our teams talked about their own 3 so far. Well, I mean, they're all 0-1, but on this podcast, we're 0-3. So let's talk about one that we had nobody in, but we do have something to talk about in this game here. The Dallas Renegades defeat the Houston Gamblers 36-17. Domination. Neuheisel, as the head coach, former UCLA and Washington football coach, comes out here and they dominate the Gamblers. Here's a problem I've got with these 2 teams right here. They're already in cities that NFL teams are. Put them in different cities. You know, I know DC's got a team, which I'm fine because they're not calling themselves the Washington Defenders. It's the DC Defenders. I'm cool with that. Columbus, they don't have a pro team. Louisville doesn't have a pro team. Orlando does. St. Louis doesn't anymore. Put these teams in places where they don't have it. Like, make it Austin or San Antonio, El Paso. It's whatever. Come on. Dallas already has too much down there. And Houston, both.
Texas just has too much as a
Lone Star battle. But anyways, the Renegades, they looked far and away the best team in the UFL over the weekend. And Austin Reed set a single-season UFL passing record with 376 yards passing. Gage, what did you think about this game here?
Yeah, I mean, that record's not too much, to say when the UFL hasn't been around that long, but still a record nonetheless. 376, 3 touchdowns. He looked great. His receiver core, Tyler Vaughn, 7 for 144 and a touchdown. Greg Ward, 3 for 93 and a touchdown. Merriweather, 6 for 47 and a touchdown. Like, oh my gosh. I didn't realize they had Denzel Mims, 2 for 10. Not a touchdown, but hey, he's still there.
Yeah.
And then over to the Gamblers, Nolan Henderson started for the Gamblers.
He didn't
He also
finish.
threw No, he went 3 of 9 with a whopping 34 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Or sorry, 2 interceptions, for a good old 6 passer rating. And then a guy that we are all too familiar with, number 8, Hunter Deckers, came into the game. 19 of 29, 227, added 3 rushing attempts for 28 yards and a touchdown. And it's the chance of a lifetime for Hunter Deckers. This is how he gets back into the NFL.
Number 8 in your scorecards, number 1 on our podcast hearts. Hunter
Absolutely.
Deckers, preseason underdog, I guess, for the NFL, willed him into existence here, and now he's getting his shot in the UFL. Go grab that brass ring, Hunter.
To be fair, the only place he was an underdog at was our podcast because no one else probably even knew who this guy was.
Probably not. But so I was complaining about Dallas getting a team and Houston getting a team for the UFL. But the way Dallas did the other day, this may be their chance at actually winning a championship in football. Cut that out for you Cowboys fans. All right.
Wow. Make that one short.
Yeah. I bet that won't get no reaction.
I do gotta bring something up. I didn't know that one of my tight ends on that team was. So that means we got 2 tight ends, one with the name of Rock and the other one named Gunner. That's the best part of the team right there, just the names.
That just means they got to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're tight. They got to had the ball thrown to them. They need a better quarterback. Gunner's last name is Oaks. Gunner Oaks. That's a badass name.
I was gonna say that is such a guy I don't want to mess with. What's your name? Gunner. Gunner Oaks.
My bad, sir. Sorry. Let me get out of your way here.
Yeah, you may enter the club. I don't even need your ID.
So far, Dallas. It looks like the best team so far in UFL. Week 1, we're overreacting a little bit to it because we don't know yet. We'll see. We'll make our picks for that towards the end of this podcast. But I want to switch gears here a little bit and let's talk a little baseball, I guess. Guys.
Yeah.
The Reds and the Pirates open the week both going 3-3.
Hoist it! Hoist the cone! I don't know what it means, but hoist the cone.
Opening week of baseball was something, I guess. The Reds looked pretty good in the 3 wins and looked pretty terrible in the 3 losses.
And the
Pirates first lost.
Yeah,
the first loss was atrocious.
Opening day. Welcome in, fans.
That was nasty. I was just gonna say, on a side note, nothing to do with this season. Sorry, I'm kind of one of them guys that are out there, random. I actually met a former Pirates player from way back in the day.
Who?
His name was Rocky Nelson.
Wow.
He played in a World Series.
Yeah.
He is actually a member of the Elks Country Club that my dad was a member of.
Did you get his autograph or anything?
Nope, I used to play snooker with him. I was 11 years old and played snooker with him.
Whoa. I mean, hey, cool story to have.
Old dude whooped my ass, too.
Well, yeah.
What a story.
Yeah, right. I wasn't expecting that there, but hey, Jordan out here playing, snooker with World Series champions. No, you didn't say champion, did you?
I think they did win the World Series that year, but his impact was in Game 6.
The last time they won a World Series, Gage?
Okay. Hey.
Just throwing that out there. 79, right? I believe, maybe.
They've won it more recently than the Bengals have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. You didn't say anything about the Reds winning the World Series more recently, huh?
Because I have no idea when they won the World Series.
1990. I mean, it's been really recent for both of us.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was 91 or 90.
90.
Nope.
Swept the A's. But anyways, they didn't get swept this weekend. They did lose 2 or 3. My guy, Eugenio Suarez, starting off pretty good. Gage, do we go ahead and just get into the next topic? Because I'm really looking forward to this next topic. It's baseball.
Dying to get into this topic.
Speaking about Eugenio Suarez, CB Buckner is struggling. This guy's probably having the worst week ever for an umpire, and it all started in the Reds in the Red Sox series with him missing 20 calls with the ABS challenge.
And only 5 of them were actually challenged.
Only were challenged, yeah, but he lost every one of those that was challenged.
Yeah.
Could have lost more. Suarez had a 1-2 count on him and strike 3. Second. That's the ball. All right. 2-2. Strike three. And he's like, the first time he's like, yeah, pulling the string on the lawnmower, like you're out of here. The second time he's like, oh man, he's gonna call for it. It's where it's like, and he's like, he's challenging it again. And then the crowd erupts like we just won the World Series because they overturned Buckner's call. And then in the next series with the Brewers, who was the Brewers playing? I can't remember who they just played. They just played somebody.
Let's see here. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Runner goes to first base, and the ball gets thrown way out somewhere else, and the guy touches first base, and then they get the ball, they come back, and they tag the runner, and CB Buckner's like, out.
I want to know what drove them to tag the runner, though, because the runner was in foul territory. He didn't make any motion to go to second base. So was CB like, hey, he missed first base?
Yeah, it kind of seemed like that.
And
But
it wasn't even close. Like I think he hit the center of the bag, a full foot on the bag.
like it's like he missed first, and I'm like, when? And they showed the replay. I was like, I seen that in real time. He didn't miss it. And then they showed the replay. It's like, no, he definitely didn't miss it. CB Buckner missed it. And
Yeah.
then just when you think things can't get any worse for CB Buckner, even the announcers are like, well, I really can't wait for him to be behind the plate tomorrow to call. And in the second inning, Jacob Mizorowski foul tips it off of CB Buckner's face mask, and he has to be he leaves the game early due to an injury. And that's the CB Buckner story so far for the week. What a cherry on a crap Sunday of a week for CB Buckner. And there's going to be umpires that struggle. He wasn't even graded the worst umpire this past week. He was second worst. So somebody else was having a worse week, but he's the one getting all the heat for it.
Can we put CB Buckner on the 60-day IL and just end the season?
Yeah, can we just go ahead and do that? Put him in the ALBP, the American League Professional Baseball, with the Lexington Legends and the whatever Rockers and all this. Put him in that league. It'll be better. The automated ball strike system is not going to be kind to him, I'm fairly sure, as won't for other umpires. But man, I should not know your name as an umpire, CB Buckner, because he struggled. We know Angel Hernandez because he sucked. As Diaz is maybe another umpire that I know, and it's not for good reasons. Other than that, I should not know your name. Jim
No.
Joyce back in the day. Everybody knows him because he cheated Galarraga out of a perfect game in Detroit that one time when he said that the runner was safe and he was out by a foot and a half and they couldn't replay it then. So if I know your name, even as an NFL referee, I should only know, the guy that's up here like calling the penalties. But I shouldn't really know him. I should be like, oh, I've seen that guy a couple of times. Not, it's this guy again. Thanks, Sean Hockley.
Oh man, yeah. Just what an awful time for CB, and frankly, umpires in general right now. Like as a fan, it's awesome to see them just get threaded in front of 20,000 people.
So that's another thing here. Do you guys like the automated ball strike system?
I do.
I love it because it's to the point. They look on the board as soon as they tap, and they make a decision right then and there.
I love and hate it at the same time, and let me explain why. I love it because you get the correct call if it's challenged. I hate it when you have umpires like CB Buckner who get all these calls challenged, and we have to keep going to replay. Okay, why do we have to see the ball fly in?
Yeah, right.
Just boom, right there. And
I agree.
What's going to happen, because we saw it at spring training, what's going to happen that one time it malfunctions, doesn't load in the middle of the game? What if it's game 7 of the World Series, batter challenges it, and it just doesn't load on the screen?
T-Mobile better get their stuff together is all I got to say.
Yeah, T-Mobile better get their internet going for the World Series, because wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. Gordon, I know you said you liked it too. I think I like the human element, but also I want you to get the right calls too.
Yeah.
You know what? Back in the day, Joe Votto would have probably had a 100% higher batting average if this shit would have been around.
Because he would have done this. He knew the strike zone.
Oh, yeah. And he knew it was strike when they called a strike, he got mad as hell when it wasn't.
Yeah.
If it was a strike and he knew it, you knew it because he just walked off.
Yeah.
But boy, I'll tell you what, if he stood there and was sitting there looking at you like he was going to wrap that bat up your nose, I mean, yeah, he's pretty bad.
He had some crazy moments when he got called out for strikes when he didn't think they were strikes. I mean, headbutted an umpire one time, was hipping the other one's face at other times. So yeah, Joey Votto would have benefited a lot from ABS.
Yeah. A lot of umpires would have had a lot of safer adventures during the games had they had that then.
No doubt about it. Now there was a missed call in the Reds game the other day with Eugenio Suarez. Check swing, and he thought he went around. He was already walking back to the dugout, and they're like, "Say," he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll head right back up here and bat again."
You know who else thought that he went around? Everybody watching from home, as well as Don Kelly, who came out and gave the home plate umpire and the first base umpire a little bit of words of encouragement, we'll call them. Don't know exactly what he said, but I'm sure it was all good things. Totally.
Your old manager too, I seen, was thrown out for arguing with the ABS system for the Twins the other day.
It wasn't. We got CB Buckner on the screen here. Wasn't there one? I want to say it was Red Sox Reds, where I forget who check swung, but it's Trevor Story. Okay, check swung, and instead of checking down at first base like Buckner has done all game, he was like, "Nope, I'm done with this." Yeah, you wet bag, get out of here. And Trevor Story went.
Look, he didn't just suck when the Reds were batting. He also sucked when the Red Sox were batting behind the plate that day. So he was
I think
equal opportunity umpire back there.
Equal opportunity sucker. But we've come to the conclusion here that CB Buckner just is awful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain time where you need to bring up some new umpires. I think now's that time for old CB. I think he's done for.
Yeah, you can't tell me there's no one down in AAA that we can't call up.
Gotta be.
Can CB Buckner get optioned down to the minors, or is he out of options in his contract?
Please option him down, because I don't want to see him behind the plate anymore. And for God's sakes, I think they're trying to kill him back there anyways.
Yeah.
Option him to single A.
Rookie ball.
Yeah. I was going to say low A, put him in the MLB draft league.
Yeah. The Reds, they face the Rangers this weekend. Their first series on the road. Brandon Williamson, he's not going to play this weekend. He's not starting this weekend, but man, you got to be better than what you was the other day.
He's real good.
He's kind of reminded me of Gordon's old favorite pitcher, Cody Reed, out there, left-hander that just can't get the job done.
If the ball's over the plate, it is over the plate, and it is going a long way. Oh my God, I still remember that game. God, that was so abysmal. I think he gave up 6 runs, and they pulled him out, and he only went like 1/3 an inning.
Yeah. This series here, the Rangers, they're 4-2. I like so far Sal Stewart. I think has had a pretty good week so far. He's kind of cooled off a little bit the last couple of games, but he's still the best hitter the Reds have right now. You see why the Reds have him batting fourth in between Ellie and Suarez. I'd like to see him do a little bit more. TJ Friedel out in center field. I think it's time we have a conversation. Maybe it's time for somebody else to take that spot out there. He hasn't had it in the last couple of years. Don't know why they keep throwing him out there, but there's somebody else out there I think that would play a little bit better out in center field. But yeah, I think the Reds this weekend. Give me 2 out of 3 for the Reds at Texas.
Well, if I had to pick, I will. I do. I don't have to, but I'm going to. I'm not going to say a sweep, but I say they'll drop the first one and they'll take the next 2.
I'll take it. You got Brady Singer and Mackenzie Gore tomorrow night.
Yeah. What a pitching lineup.
So the Orioles come to Pittsburgh this weekend for the home opener for the Pirates. No Paul Skeens this weekend. Gage, what do you think about your Pirates and them hosting the Orioles? The Polar Bear comes back to town.
Polar Bear back to Pittsburgh. Pitching matchup for Friday. For the Orioles, Kyle Bradish, an 0-1 record, 3.86 ERA, and 4 punch-outs against Mitch Keller, who blanked the Mets in his lone start this season, a 0 ERA, 3 punch-outs. And then Saturday, Shane Baz, the big acquisition for Baltimore this offseason, off to a not good start, 0-0 record, which luckily he didn't take the loss, but a 6.75 ERA and 4 punch-outs. And then Carmen Majinski for the Pirates that day, 0-0, a 4.1, 8 punch-outs. I believe that was against the Mets too, if I believe. Might have been against the Reds. I don't remember off the top of my head. And then Sunday, we got Chris Bassett for Baltimore. 0-1 with an 8.31 ERA and 3 strikeouts versus Braxton Ashcraft, 0-1, a 3 ERA and 3 strikeouts. Not only that, but big news today out of the Pirates organization. They're calling up Connor Griffin for tomorrow's game.
That's quick.
Yeah, the 19-year-old tearing up AAA, didn't do good in spring training, but I think they've kind of felt the pressure a little bit from the fans. I'll be interested to see where he goes in the infield, whether it's second or short. Someone's gonna go. And if I had to pick, it'd be Jared Triolo, but I don't really know. He hasn't gone out to a hot start. Neither has Marcell Ozuna, but Ozuna is known for that. He does not get off to hot starts.
DUI, DUI, as the Mets fans were chanting.
They were. Personally, I thought it was hilarious, but hey. And then they are reportedly, it's not a done deal yet, but the report right now is they're going to finalize a 9-year, $140 million contract with Connor Griffin. Pittsburgh is spending money, and I don't know why, but I'm all for it. And also for the series, Pittsburgh takes 2 of 3. Let's just say that.
So I'm glad you brought up Connor Griffin getting the 9 years, $140 million. I've seen that several times this week with different players, some who have never had any major league experience, getting these huge contracts. I mean, maybe not huge, like 7 years, 90-some million for one guy. I can't remember who it was. And then there was another one that was over 100 million without even stepping foot on the big league diamond yet to actually play in a Major League Baseball game. Are you guys for them locking down these guys this early? It is a very team-friendly deal because say they come up here and they just tear it up. You've got them locked in for 9-10 years in their prime.
And also it's the Mariners one, Colt Emerson, 8-year, $95 million.
That's the one I seen too. Never played any Major League Baseball at all.
Yeah.
Are you guys for those deals?
I'm all for it. You do it now. You take that chance that this player is going to be pretty good, right? But if, say, Connor Griffin comes up and they don't give him the contract and he ends the season batting .290 with 18, 20 homers, then it's like, oh my gosh, like we probably should have gave him that when we had the chance because now he's going to want more money. On the other hand, he could absolutely suck, gets him back down to triple, and it's like, man, we could have signed up for less. But I think you're willing to take that risk. 9 years, $140 million seems very nice, and I think a lot of teams are doing it now because they're scared of the lockout for next year.
You got the lockout. Also, if they do, say you get 5 years with them at their whatever low salary that you're going to pay them. After that 5th year, they could still be in their prime and still have several more prime years left. They go when they sign a deal with the Dodgers for $300 million for like 7 years, and you could have got it for half of that price for a little bit more years on it, and you're better off if they pan out. Now you may hit a bust; it happens, but I like it if I was, because that's a perfect Reds and Pirates thing to do, right? We're cheap, so go ahead and get the player cheap while you can, lock them down for a long time. And then after the 9-10 years, whatever happens, happens. Gordon, would you like the idea of locking down players early for a smaller amount of money?
Yeah, I think they should do it in football too. But
I agree there too.
That rookie contract out 7 years.
Yeah, that's always the thing. I don't know if they would do that in the NFL with the salary cap and stuff, but it would be great.
And I think it's a lot harder to do it in the NFL too because like the career expectancy of players in the NFL is just shorter. So it's like, you might do like a 5-year deal instead of 4 years with an option. It might be 5 with an option or something like that. But to get like a 10-year deal or whatever out of the NFL, I would be very surprised if that ever happened.
Well, to me, a 7-year deal with, in football would like be getting a 10, 11-year deal in baseball. You figure player length expectancy is that would be about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say that probably evens out there. So that's our little baseball we've got here. So I'm excited about the season so far. Talk to me in a week. We'll see where I'm at next week on the podcast. But right now, the Reds not 3-3, not bad, not bad.
The MLB is, especially for us, a very week-to-week thing. We could come on one week and be like, well, it happened last year. The Reds, they're sucking. Yeah. And then, oh, we're almost in the playoffs. What's going to happen?
We were previewing like the NFC West or whatever, and I'm like, yep, forget it. Reds are done. And then September rolls around. I'm still like, yeah, I'm not paying much attention to baseball. Whatever. We was getting like week 3 of the NFL season. I'm like, Cage, the Reds have got a shot here. And you're like, the Mets won't blow it. Wait, the Mets blew it. So
The Mets medded.
the Mets met it. So the next one that we're going to go to here, let's go to the NFL real quick. The Bengals signed Kyle Duggar and Jasser Taylor today for some help in the secondary. Gage, I know you have some feelings here about Kyle Duggar. What did you think about the Bengals out here making some moves on defense?
I'm going to steal the comment that I sent you on Instagram about this Kyle Duggar signing. The Bengals defense went from very, very bad to just really very bad. It's still bad, but Kyle Duggar it's huge for Cincinnati, for a team that didn't have really good safeties last year or just a good defense in general. I don't know what Duggar's contract was. I don't know why Pittsburgh couldn't reconsider him re-sign him, but I still would take Kyle Duggar in our secondary over what do we sign? Clinton Dix.
Former Packer.
And then I think there was another one we signed, but I would take Kyle Duggar over any of them.
So yeah, the Bengals making deals out here right before the draft makes me think, are we still going to? Caleb Downs has been rumored to be drafted to the Bengals forever at number 10. Now we're hoping to get somebody on here to speak draft with us here in a few weeks, see what their opinion is. Right now, I don't know if this changes things for the Bengals or not when it comes to the draft, but I like these moves that they're making out here on defense. They're at least trying to do something.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do something with very little what you got. Obviously, the cap space isn't there for them because they have a lot invested into just a couple players. But I like the Kyle Duggar signing. Jasser Taylor, I mean, depth is depth and help is help at this point for them.
So in other news, Kirk Cousins signs with the Raiders.
Yeah, Kirko Chains to the Raiders. Now, did you guys read this contract?
I know, I did not. I just seen the headline.
So Kirk Cousins will sign a 5-year, $172 million deal with the Raiders. That in reality is a 1-year, fully guaranteed $20 million deal that also contains a club option for 2 years at $80 million. The Falcons will pay Cousins $8.7 million this season. The Raiders another $1.3 million. And Vegas also agreed to pay its new quarterback a fully guaranteed $10 million roster bonus on the third day of the 2027 new league year. And most notably, it sets another new mark for Cousins' career. It is the 11th straight NFL season in which his contract will be fully guaranteed. I don't know who his agent is, but I would want this person representing me my entire career.
No doubt about it. 11th straight year fully guaranteed for Kirk Cousins.
Yes. In 5 years, $172 million. I forget all the BS that is in there with the fully guaranteed, the club options, all that. You're giving this guy over $30 million a year when you're going to go and draft Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall, here in a few short weeks.
It's the Raiders. What are they doing? What are they like? Just when you think maybe they're starting to get something right, they go and make this deal here.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, right. He likes that. I'm sure he likes that.
Well, I'm sure.
Stephon Gilmore retires. Did anybody even realize he was still in the league? I did not.
Nope, I thought he retired a couple seasons ago.
I thought he did too, but he was decent when he was in his prime. But
yeah.
All right. So you guys got anything else you want to hit on here before we get into our picks?
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any other signings or anything like that.
Has Green Bay done anything?
I haven't done shit since Hargrave.
So let's go on. Let's get into our picks. We're back with actual picks here, guys. And let's start it off. You guys right here, I may have to separate you two on this one here. Friday, the Defenders travel to Columbus to face the DC Defenders, face the Columbus Aviators at 8 o'clock on Fox. The Defenders are a 2.5-point favorite on the road. This is Columbus's home opener. First game ever as a UFL team. Gage, We'll start with you because you're the road dogs. Well, no, you're the road favorites here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I want DC, obviously, right? But with the way that they played last week, I don't know if I could trust them. The defense looks phenomenal, but as we heard from the Aviators fan here, McClendon did not look good at all. I mean, this is going to be a battle of basically what team has took that major step from last week. If I'm going to take a team, I'm going to take my own. Give me the DC Defenders to take down the Columbus Aviators in prime time, Friday night SmackDown time, 8 p.m. 2.5 favorites. They're going to cover it. Defenders 1-1.
So the between these two teams here last week, neither one of them too impressive in their games. Week 1 jitters, we get it. The Defenders they went and played in St. Louis, which had a raucous crowd. Like I said, they were starved for football. They've got it. They love their football there for the Battlehawks. Aviators, you go on the road, your very first UFL game. You're coming back home here the very first time you're playing in Crew Stadium. Aviators are 2.5-point dogs at home. I think that if McClendon plays quarterback again, it's not going to be pretty. White looked really good last week for the Aviators. Gordon, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pick the Defenders on the road here. Give me DC to win this game and give me DC cover. Just because they're the defending champs, they're going to eventually get it back going again. Jordan Tamu is one of the better quarterbacks in the UFL, the best one, I think. Didn't he win MVP or something last year? So I've got the Defenders in this one.
Actually, I think it should be 12.5-point favorites because Aviators sucked last week.
Hey, so did the Defenders.
Well, your quarterback wasn't afraid to throw the ball.
Well, it's true. He was just afraid of his offensive line.
Well, for what you talk about, he had every reason to be.
Yeah.
I mean, my guy was holding the ball for 5 seconds and then got hit. I mean, that wasn't the issue. I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going to get a win this week. I'm taking the Defenders. I'm taking the road favorites, Billy Guns. Yes.
All right,
Hey,
so we're
wait.
all on the Defenders wagon here.
Wait a second. That's my move. I did that during the NFL season going against the Steelers. Hey, I don't like how this is playing out over here.
Here we are. We're all 3 Defenders here, so we'll see how that works out for us. Now we go to Saturday night, and it's all right for the Louisville Kings traveling to Orlando to face the Orlando Storm at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Orlando is a 3.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, who you got in this matchup?
I'll be flat honest. I did not watch the Kings Saturday because I was working, wasn't able to. I did watch the Storm because they beat up my team, which I do believe my son's former Pee Wee football team could have beat the Aviators last Sunday and probably wouldn't have had much fun because they can't tackle. We talked about this a little bit ago. They can't tackle, they can't run, they can't block, they can't throw the ball. One of them can catch.
Yeah.
One of them can run the ball, just not the one they got started doing it. Anyways, the defense wasn't horrible, but they did give up a lot of points at the end. So if he has a relatively average game to quarterback, it'll be close. I'm going to take the Kings. I'm taking the Road Dogs. Jesse James.
Gage, who you got?
Just knowing how Louisville played last week was not good. Barely completed 50% of passes. Did have 226 yards, 2 picks, a touchdown. I'm looking at Louisville trying to get the run game going this week. Last week, Bean also led in rushing, 5 attempts for 27 yards, and Benny Snell was second place at 5 for 12. You got to get that going. How much better is his offensive line now that someone else took over? That's the real question. It's hard to really know. And on the Orlando side, Jack Plummer kind of carving up Columbus a little bit last week. 17 for 22, a 127-point rating. And they also have another former DC defender in Chris Rowland, which again, it feels like we're losing all of our players, but that's beside the point. I'm going to go against the Kings here just because Bean was not impressive to me last week. He had a couple good throws, couple deep bombs, which was nice. Lucky Jackson is going to be his saving grace this entire season, not just this game, but the entire season. It's not going to be enough, though. Give me Orlando and give me them to cover.
Yeah, Orlando come in last week. This horse is over here. It's been dead for quite a while. We keep beating it. I mean, we beat it the whole time. The Aviators horse over here. They played horrible against the Storm. Was not good. The Storm looked pretty decent. Jack Plummer played a pretty good game. Former Louisville quarterback going against his former city in this game here. Jason Bean, didn't have the best game passing. He was off on several throws that he threw. But when he made some plays, I mean, he can make some plays on the ground. If he could just break something. You don't want him to be your leading rusher, of course. Benny Snell's got to get going. Your offensive line coach, will that make a difference? We'll see. Time will tell. How bad you have to be at your job to get fired from your job 1 week into the season? Pretty dang bad. So I think Lucky Jackson makes a huge play for the Kings in this game, and the Kings go out and they give the Storm their first ever loss. And does this quantify as underdog pick of the week, Gage, or no? Is it not? I don't think the spread's too high.
I mean, we don't have many games to pick this week, and if you don't plan on going the underdog on the next one, you could definitely call it the underdog pick of the week here.
Underdog pick of the week for me, the Louisville Kings go into the Storm and they win it and they cover because they are the road dog. Jesse James. Man, I've missed that. All right. We're halfway through the slate here and we go to Sunday and we got the Birmingham Stallions, AJ McCarron and the boys travel to Houston to face the Houston Gamblers at 6 o'clock on the NFL Network. Birmingham's a 7.5-point favorite. Gordon, who do you like in this matchup here?
I believe in AJ McCarron and his ability to coach quarterbacks. Obviously, when you're not very good at it at the pro level, normally you're a good coach at it. So he probably is a great coach at it. I'm not saying he was a bad quarterback because he wasn't. He just wasn't
great.
That great either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Gamblers to win, but not the cover.
Wow, they would cover if you pick the Gamblers. They're the dogs.
Well, yeah, they're the road dogs. Yeah, so give me the game home dogs, Billy Guns. But I think they're gonna win by a late 4-point field goal.
Oh man, that'd be something there. Gage, Gordon has went with the underdogs here. Who you like in this one?
I just want to start off by saying, how weird is it to have a UFL game on the NFL Network? That's like putting AEW on Netflix for a week and saying, here, let's see what happens. Like, okay, kind of odd, but sure, why not? For Birmingham last week, really good game. Obviously, they took down Louisville 15-13. Matt Corral, 21 of 30, 207 yards and a touchdown. The rushing game as well. As a total, the team went 35 for 112 and a touchdown. And as you mentioned at the beginning, Jaden Mickens is a huge guy. And then the two Rosses as well, Justin and John, got Deion Kane. It's a team full of guys that can put it all together and be very good. However, as we mentioned, the Gamblers, they got Hunter Deckers back there at quarterback, and I can't go against our boy Hunter Deckers. So we're going to go with the Houston Gamblers for the underdog pick of the week. And obviously they cover that 7.5, and Hunter Deckers leads them to say a 98-yard game-winning drive.
Yeah, so that's the big question here in this game. Is Hunter Deckers an improvement over the other quarterback they had? Absolutely. But the Stallions, Mickens last week, like I said, that's a player I already am not a fan of just because of what he did to the Kings. But I think he's going to have another big game. Then you've got Snoop Carter, running back there. Great name for a running back. And then Matt Corral. I mean, what's up with all these Ole Miss quarterbacks in the UFL just taking starting jobs everywhere? Jackson Dart, he's going to be a gambler next year. But right now, he's not. So I think, like Gordon said, A.J. McCarron, he can coach up quarterbacks pretty good probably. Not a great player, but a pretty good coach. I like the Stallions to continue their streak here and to make the Gamblers go 0-2 and the clear basement of the UFL. Give me the Stallions and give me the Gamblers cover. The Gamblers will cover because they are the Gamblers. And then we go to Tuesday. We got Tuesday football, guys, almost 2 weeks away for this game in week 2. The St. Louis Battlehawks travel to Dallas to face the Dallas Renegades at 8 o'clock on FS1. Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite. Gage, who do you like here?
Battlehawks and Renegades. Obviously, the Battlehawks are the biggest rival of the Defenders, and I don't want them to win. Renegades, Austin Reed, setting records, 376 yards. And one of two things are going to happen this week. He's either going to come out and do it again, or he's going to come out and throw for under 100 yards and just absolutely killed by the Battlehawk defense. I don't think that's going to happen, though. We're going to go with the Dallas Renegades. They're the favorites, and screw the flock. Give me the Renegades to cover.
I'd say screw the flock in the NFL, too. Gordon, who do you got in this one?
I'm no fan of anything coming from Dallas, as you well know. But I can't act like I didn't see the score and the stat lines from the last game that the Renegades played. So I'm actually going to take the Renegades, and they're going to win by double digits.
I think I'm going to agree with you here, Gordon, and they come out and they win, and I think they dominate. Now, either we're overreacting from week one or they're the real deal. I mean, you look at that quarterback, Austin Reed, and those two wide receivers he's got, those guys looked uncoverable last week.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of going to be more of the same. Rick Neuheisel was a decent coach in college. This may be the perfect spot for him being out there in the UFL, just going out and having fun, flinging the ball around. This is going to be the most fun team to watch offensively in this league this season. I got the Renegades winning, and I've got the Renegades covering. And also, while I'm on the subject right here, Gage, shouldn't the Renegades be a team nickname for like a Pittsburgh UFL team? Are we missing something here? Like, come on.
Yeah, like it almost feels like Renegade is a Steeler thing.
Right.
Like this doesn't feel right. Yeah, but speaking of the Renegades, do you guys know how much of a dog Austin Reed was in college?
Where did he go?
He went to Western Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
2 years is all he played in college ball as a senior, double senior. I guess he wasn't the starter beforehand. But in those 2 seasons, he compiled 8,086 passing yards, 71 touchdowns to 22 picks.
Yeah.
In 2 seasons.
That system, Western Kentucky, they like to throw the ball around.
Was that the seasons at shit, what the hell's his name?
Bailey Zappi was there too.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of who one of the coaches was in Western Kentucky.
Don't ask the guy that doesn't watch much college.
Bobby Petrino was there once. This was after him.
That's who I'm thinking of. Wasn't with him, was it?
Then you had Jeff Brom, who's the Louisville coach now. Also not him. I can't remember who the coach is now, but they do that system. They've always liked to throw the ball around. So it doesn't surprise me that Austin Reed put up those type of numbers in that system.
He also had 1 punt for 37 yards. So if they need an emergency punter, he's your guy.
So that's our picks for the week. And guys, before we hop off of here, do we have anything else? We're down to the Final Four in college basketball, and our pick that we picked on this show on the bracket that we all went in together with is still alive. We've got Arizona winning it all, and they're still in it.
I'm glad that we went against my idea of picking Duke.
How wonderful was that game the other day with Duke?
Who's all in the Final Four?
UConn plays Illinois, and then Arizona faces Michigan.
Let's go Arizona.
I knew he was going to say that.
There's a guy at work that the day after came in wearing a UConn hoodie, and I was like, I could punch you square in the face right now. Because Duke was my pick in my ESPN bracket and my pick in the work bracket, and technically my pick here. You guys just outvoted. Yeah. So that game, Duke, okay, tangent. Duke had no reason to lose.
They won at the end.
Turned the ball over for no reason. And then UConn makes a heck of a three. Yeah.
You should have got him when he came in with the UConn sweatshirt. You should have said, I like the women's team too, and then walked away. But the UConn women's team are good.
Yeah, but watching the Duke defender doesn't try to put much pressure on the shooter. He's just like, oh, there the ball goes.
Well, have you seen, that was Isaiah Evans. Have you seen his Instagram handle? Hands always up or something like that is his Instagram handle. Something to do with hands up. And his hands
were down. Man, that's irritating.
Say, where was your hands up? Up your butt or?
So, Duke, 10 seconds left. You're up 2. Just hold the ball. Just let him foul you. Go shoot foul shots. And Caden Boozer's like, nope, let's throw it ahead. And then they get the steal. And then Joey Mullins, shout out Joey, his cousin over here, Braylon Mullins, hits that big 3 to send UConn to the Final Four. So Yeah, it's not really his cousin, but I mean, cool
Oh.
story, same name. But yeah, so I think Arizona's going to win it. That's who we've got in this bracket, and let's just hope that we win
Considering who's Arizona's playing, let's go Zona.
that.
Yeah, and I hope UConn gets destroyed in the Final Four.
Let's hope so. They've never lost a Final Four game in their history, though. Men's.
But how many have they made? Oh, okay, I guess that's a pretty good
They've won
pretty
6
good track
championships.
record. Fair.
All since 1999 too. So,
All right, fair enough, I guess.
guys, next week we'll have a little UFL again, and we'll see where it goes. A little baseball game.
Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more exciting games to watch.
Hopefully
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Week 1, I'm glad it's back. I'm into it. They're going to start getting in. I hope they start. The competition becomes a little bit better.
If it's a defensive game, a real defensive game, not just because offense sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a difference.
Right, there is a difference. Yeah,
And we do have one other thing here. Brand new flavor coming out of the W warehouse.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to try it. It is sour gummy bear. No idea how it's going to be, but I'm expecting awesomeness from this. It says the most tasty assorted flavors of sour gummy bears with a little bit of sour powder on it. I'm assuming it's going to be like a Sour Patch Kid type of thing, but instead of Patch Kid, gummy bear. I'm not really too sure. But if you want to try it as well, head over to w.gg, use promo code YELLING, 10% off at checkout, link in the description. And I'm excited to get this tub and try it out for myself.
Yeah, W's got several flavors that are good. That one sounds really good. Would like to try that one out.
Yes.
If you want to try it out, hey, go to it. Use our promo code YELLING. Also, if you get hungry, go to deutschfoods.com. Use our promo code YELLING. Save $5 at checkout. Use the link in the description. They've got What the Fudge, Basic Batch, Birthday Cake, and Chocolate Chip. All of them really good. Like I said, you can eat them right out of the jar, or you can bake them, and they're actually pretty good baked as well. So check out either one of those. Use the promo code YELLING. Save you a little bit of money.
And what's a better combination? You get to work early in the morning, you're a little groggy, pull out that energy drink and a little bit of cookie, and you're good to go.
Good to go for the rest of the day. Wide awake. Gordon, you can use some W on all the jobs that you work. I can tell.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
This shit. I burnt my arm.
Oh, man.
Good.
Aviators game wasn't that bad, man.
That game was so bad. I just boiled some grease and threw it on my arm and said, screw it.
Well, guys, if you don't have anything else here, we'll wrap this thing up and we'll catch you all in the next one. Do you guys got anything?
Peace out.
All right. See you.